You think you know who the manipulator is. You think you can spot them from a mile away. The toxic friend, the gaslighting partner, the coworker who somehow makes you feel small every single time you talk. But here's what nobody tells you. Manipulators are not cartoonish villains twirling mustaches in the corner. They are charming, they are convincing, and they have spent years perfecting the art of making you question your own reality. The truth is brutal. Most people walk through life surrounded by manipulators and never even realize it. They blame themselves. They think they are too sensitive. They wonder why every conversation leaves them feeling drained, confused, or somehow in the wrong. And the manipulator. They thrive on this. Your confusion is their power source. But there is a way out. There are 3 questions you can ask that cut through the fog. 3 questions that manipulators cannot answer without revealing exactly who they are. Not because they are stupid, but because these questions force them to do the one thing they have trained their entire lives to avoid. Be honest. The first question is deceptively simple. When someone crosses a boundary or hurts you, and you try to address it, ask them this: can you explain why you did that without making it about me? Watch what happens. A normal person will pause. They will reflect. They might say something like, "I was stressed, I made a mistake, I should not have said that." They take ownership. They acknowledge their action without redirecting. But a manipulator, they cannot do it. They will immediately flip the script. You are too sensitive. You always overreact. I would not have done that if you had not done this other thing first. Notice the pattern. They cannot answer the question. They cannot explain their behavior without making you the villain in the story. Because if they took responsibility, if they admitted fault without Taozen, they would lose control. And control is everything. This is not an accident. This is a survival mechanism they have built over years. Manipulators need you to be the problem, because if you are the problem, they never have to change. They never have to grow. They never have to sit with the uncomfortable reality that they hurt someone, so they will twist, they will deflect. They will bring up something you did 3 months ago that has nothing to do with the current situation. And if you are not paying attention, you will forget what you even brought up in the first place. You will end up apologizing for something you did not do. The second question cuts even deeper. When someone refuses to respect a boundary you have clearly set, ask them, "What do you lose if I enforce this boundary?" This question is a trap for manipulators because it forces them to admit the real reason they are upset, and that reason is always the same: control. Think about it. If you tell a healthy person, "I need space right now," they might be sad, they might miss you, but they will respect it because they understand that your well-being matters. They lose nothing by respecting your boundary except maybe a little inconvenience, but a manipulator, they lose everything. They lose access, they lose influence. They lose the ability to dictate your emotions, your schedule, your decisions. So when you ask this question, watch how they respond. They will not say, "I lose control over you." They are smarter than that. Instead, they will frame it as care. "If you take space, I worry about you. If you do not answer my texts immediately, I feel abandoned. If you spend time with other people, I feel neglected." They disguise control as love. They disguise domination as concern. But here is the test. Ask yourself, does this person respect my boundaries when it costs them nothing? Do they give me space when I am not pulling away? Do they celebrate my independence when I am thriving without them? If the answer is no, then their concern is not about you, it is about them. It is about what they lose when you are not available to manage their emotions, validate their existence, or play the role they have assigned you. The third question is the most dangerous one, and it should only be used when you are ready to see the truth, even if it hurts. When someone constantly makes you feel guilty, anxious, or wrong, ask them, "Can you name one thing I do well without adding a criticism? Just one thing." A manipulator cannot do this. It is almost painful to watch. They will start strong. You are a good listener, but you never actually follow through on anything. You are kind, but you let people walk all over you. You are smart, but you overthink everything. Notice the structure: compliment, destruction, validation, invalidation. They cannot let you feel good about yourself, because if you feel good, you might leave. You might realize you deserve better. You might stop seeking their approval. This is the core of manipulation. It is not just about controlling your actions. It is about controlling how you see yourself. If they can convince you that you are broken, that you are the problem, that you are lucky anyone tolerates you at all, then you will never leave. You will stay. You will keep trying to earn their approval. And they will keep moving the goalpost, because the goal was never for you to succeed. The goal was for you to stay dependent. Now here is the part that breaks people. When you start asking these questions, when you start seeing the patterns, you will realize how long this has been happening. You will look back at conversations, at relationships, at years of your life, and see the manipulation woven through everything. And it will hurt. It will feel like betrayal, because it is. But here is the other side. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. And that is your power. Manipulators rely on your ignorance. They rely on your empathy. They rely on your willingness to believe the best in people. But once you know the game, you are no longer playing, you are watching, and they cannot manipulate someone who is no longer confused. So use these questions, not as weapons, not as gotcha moments, but as tools for clarity. Because you deserve to know who is in your life and why. You deserve relationships where boundaries are respected, where accountability is normal, where you can feel good about yourself without someone tearing you down in the same breath. The manipulator will tell you that you are paranoid, that you are creating problems, that things were fine until you started asking questions. Let them, because their discomfort is not your responsibility. Your peace is. And if asking 3 simple questions causes someone to unravel, to lash out, to accuse you of being the manipulator, then you already have your answer. They revealed themselves. You just had to ask.